7 tips for brainstorming your college essay. Mission impossible. 650 words to describe who I am? You aren't alone. Most students have a hard time deciding what to write about for their college essay. We're here to help you brainstorm what to write about. The mission, should you choose to accept it, to make the reader feel, I want this kid at my school. In other words, do not bore the poor admissions officer who has to read thousands and thousands of essays. Let's start with what your essay is not. It is not a regurgitation of your activities, awards, or positions. That information is already in the application. It is also not primarily to showcase good writing. That's a no-duh. It has to be well written. But grammatically perfect and boring are quite possible. And finally, it is not an autobiography. 650 words is not a lot. You need to pick what part of yourself to highlight. Your essay is your one chance to stand out from thousands of other applicants by showcasing something cool and distinct about you. So let's get to our 7 tips. Tip number 1, focus on your strengths and abilities, not roles. Here are some examples. I am a soccer star versus I have the eye of the tiger. I have indomitable resolve. I won lots of science fair awards versus I am insatiably curious. I always need to know how things work. I am a leader in student government versus I connect easily with people. I get people. The first column shows roles. The second column shows the ability or strength underlying the role. So maybe at this point you're thinking, I can't think of any cool underlying strengths or abilities. Which leads to tip number 2. Engage in our left brain, left brain technique. We're going to give you some left brain activities to do to get you thinking about yourself. At some point, this will trigger a right brain aha inspiration. This is what I want to write about. Then you return to the left brain activity of organizing your thoughts and writing. So, on to our first left brain activity. Tip number 3. Take the Highlands Ability Battery, or HAB, or take a personality test. 16personalities.com is a popular site for a free personality test. The HAB is a treasure trove of information about your hardwired abilities that can inspire all sorts of realizations about your natural strengths. Like maybe you're a fast-paced problem solver, or maybe you have a lot of ideas in your head. A personality test can also give you descriptions like energetic or introspective or charismatic that can get you thinking about who you are. Tip number 4. Read essays that worked. Our favorite site is the one published by the Johns Hopkins University Admissions Committee. There are essays from applicants from several different classes available on their website. Perhaps you will find one that resonates with you. This may then inspire an idea for your own essay. For example, one student read a humorous essay and realized that she also has a witty sense of humor, is quick on her feet, and is good at connecting with people. She tossed the serious drafts she had written so far and began her essay with a funny story from class. Another student read an essay that used a musical metaphor. That inspired him to also use a musical metaphor, improvisation, to describe how he likes to create from scratch and loves opportunities to problem solve in unexpected situations, whether playing his sax, on wilderness trips, or on building projects. Tip number 5. Ask your friends and family for 3 descriptive sentences about you. The more detailed, the better. This is another left brain exercise to get you to think about the descriptions that the people closest to you come back with. Ask for more than a list of adjectives. Ask for fuller and deeper descriptions. And needless to say, descriptions of your positive characteristics. Thoughtful, friendly, and nice are not that helpful. Tip number 6. Don't tell, show. In other words, think of your stories. Now that you have used these left brain exercises to come up with a list of abilities and strengths, pick your favorite or favorites, and then start thinking about stories where you demonstrated that ability or strength. Here's our first example. I'm Denise. After my left brain exercises, I realized I'm very good at organizing and planning. So, what are the stories that showcase this quality? Well, here are some examples. I'm that kid whose underwear is color coordinated. But it's not just my closet that's well organized. It's whatever I set my mind to. I love to plan and make things happen. Starting in 8th grade, I started planning all of our family vacations, from the dates my parents had to take off from work, to our mode of transportation, to setting our daily itinerary. My first planned vacation was to Niagara Falls. By 10th grade, I had planned a multi-city, activity-heavy family trip to Costa Rica. We all had the time of our lives, and my family joked that I was their personal travel agent. Another illustration. Being a good planner made student government leadership an activity I enjoyed. Dances and fundraisers went off without a hitch because I had planned every detail and coordinated all the moving pieces. My concluding thought? People began to see me as a leader because they trusted me to get things done. Who knew that color coding my underwear would lead to so many amazing opportunities and responsibilities? So this is just one example of a way to use the left brain exercises to come up with a quality, a strength, something that you realize you really like about yourself, and then think about stories in your life that illustrate that quality, and that's how you come up with your essay topic. I'll give you one more example. I'm Benjamin. I'm someone with a lot of ideas in my head. Let me illustrate. I was the kid who always came up with the playground game during recess. Other kids always asked me for ideas, and I never failed to come up with a new one. They weren't always hits, but many were, and our recess group never had the problem of getting bored with the same game, because I always came up with the new ones. Like dance tag, which was like freeze tag, except instead of freezing, you had to dance non-stop in place until someone freed you. It helped burn a lot of excess energy for our class. Another example. As part of the yearbook staff, new layouts, new themes, and new superlatives were my calling. People began to look to me whenever we needed a new idea about anything. I didn't disappoint. Who wants most likely to succeed as a superlative when you can have most likely to be a CIA operative or most likely to become a demagogue? Related strengths and concluding thought. Being the go-to idea person helped me overcome my early fears that I had to be good at everything. Some of my ideas are good, and some aren't that great. But if I wasn't willing to take the risk to try, then how could I know? So I take risks. I take the challenge. After all, I'll always have a new idea if this one doesn't work. Which leads to tip number 7. Start writing and keep writing. Most students go through several different drafts before stumbling upon their aha quality and story that best captures what they want to say about themselves. Go to bed thinking about the qualities that were revealed in your left brain exercises. You may wake up inspired. Just write them down. In conclusion, brainstorming is just a start to your essay writing journey. We have many other tips to help you craft the best possible college essay about yourself, like weaving a unifying metaphor throughout, or bookending your essay with a common theme, as well as how to extrapolate more qualities about yourself. We offer personalized essay writing consultation services to guide you from your very first brainstorming activity to the final editing finishes on what could be the pièce de résistance of your college application. The bulk of your college application, like grades, test scores, extracurriculars, awards, teacher recommendations, those are, for the most part, out of your hands now. Your essay is the only part of your application still in your control. There is something unique and cool to say about you. In fact, writing your college essay can be a soul-searching and confidence-boosting experience.